Two teams on the hunt for good fortune intersect with the Saddleback Mountain watching from afar. It's Orange County and Colorado Springs on deck. Tonight's broadcast and match are presented by Taqueria, the official taco of Orange County SC. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. Here is your starting lineup brought to you by Zulfagari Law Firm. Mark Schoenster, Marion Crowder with you here.
For Orange County, it's all going to be about Tristan Traeger. He's going to continue to progress his way back to that full game fitness, and it's going to be about building the relationships with Liam McKinnon and Cameron Dunbar. Danny Stone going with a bit of history here tonight is Chris Hagart, a player who caused Colorado Springs problems in the playoffs last season, makes his start as well.
Our Lyona player to watch, Tristan Traeger. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, here is James Chambers' side.
A couple of key tweaks they've made over the last few matches. Matt Mahoney moving out to the right. That sees Matusala and LaCroix as that center back pairing. And it's also allowed Matt Real to push higher on that left-hand side centrally. It's looked a much more balanced with Aiden Rocha, who spent heavy minutes last year as the club's right back. He's found himself back in that central area. Look for that to show up in ways that they balance going forward.
So there are your starting lineups, once again presented by Zulfagari Law Firm. Excited to get this one started for you here at Championship Soccer Stadium, commonly known as the Champ. Our head official for tonight's match, Atahan Yaya. It'll be Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the rogue white uniforms. And then Orange County SC debuting their new orange kits. See the fans here from the supporter section to the seats all across the stadium, getting ready for this one to get going. Orange County SC debuting these orange kits this year. It's the first time they've been able to manufacture a kit with the official orange of the team. Awesome kit, because it also features the Saddleback Mountain at the bottom of the kit, the giant orange balloon, a highlight portion of the graphic on the front of the jersey. Welcome you in, whether you're tuning in on ESPN Plus or if you're checking it out on KCal 9. Debut for Orange County on the local affiliate. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster. I'm joined by Marion Crowder. We welcome you in as we get ready for this one. Get off and running. Two teams hungry to find some wins. Both have had moments where they've liked the way they played, but it's not always translated to 3 points. So tonight, it's a prime opportunity for one of these two to get off on the right foot results-wise. And here we go from the Champ. A playoff rematch between Colorado Springs and Orange County. Of course, that game taking place back at Widener Field in Colorado. So you could say it's a chance for some payback, though of course, Orange County in particular, a lot of new pieces this season for Danny Stone, who's entering his first full year as the head coach after taking over the side last season. Orange County, 3 wins, 5 losses, and a draw this season. Meanwhile, 2 wins, 3 losses, and 5 draws for James Chambers and Colorado Springs. Last week, Orange County losing 3-0 at home against New Mexico United, but if you just looked at that scoreline, you would ascertain a very different story than what the actual truth is. They liked a lot of what they saw in that game. Their press really causing problems for New Mexico United, but when the chances arose, they just couldn't put them away. Danny Stone saying we created even more than maybe we expected in that one, but didn't take advantage of it. I mean, at this point in the season, that has been the plot line for Orange County. They have 122 shots across the year, which is 3rd in the conference, in the league, I should say. Only 10 goals, 4 of which coming in that opening game against the Oakland Roots, which means their conversion rate is 11%, which is worst in the Western Conference. So they're looking to figure out that conversion problem to actually put away the opportunities they create for themselves, they're doing everything right up to that exclamation point. You can see 2 penalties in that game against New Mexico United. Played well up until the last 25 minutes of that match. Then things went off the rails, but at that point you're already down 2-0, and it's already going to be hard for you to get back in the game.
I love the mention from you about how successful they were in that press against New Mexico. They could have easily been up 3-4-0 in the first 15-20 minutes, and really Kyle Scott excelled. He shone bright in that moment. The pressing action was triggered by him, and Tristan Traeger, a player who Danny Stone is just trying to get back to full fitness. He did so well in his defensive showing to mitigate the options for New Mexico United. You have to think that this Orange County side is going to find some confidence in what they were able to create with the press and potentially try and do that here tonight.
But now Kazar on that right-hand side under a lot of duress. Colorado Springs applying some pressure themselves. Finally getting themselves into the win column last game. They're able to face off with Pittsburgh Riverhounds back at home, a game that they were victorious 1-0 against a notoriously difficult team to beat, coached by the legendary Bob Lilly. A game that James Chambers said, you're not going to get a ton of chances, so you have to take the ones you get. They were able to get theirs off of a set piece. I want to clarify that that's a Pittsburgh team that doesn't park the bus, though. They're a footballing side, and I just find it humorous that sometimes that can be the narrative that's driven about the Riverhounds. Getting a clean sheet at home, 1-0 victory. You take those 3 points, and then you try to build off of it. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game presented by Patterson Auto. Aaron, you can go ahead and take it away from here.
Well, as much as sometimes we like to elevate the tactics of this game, there's a time and a place for it. There's also a time and a place to simplify it. And ultimately for Orange County, that's the name of the game. Scoring goals is the premise of this sport, and conversion is where they have struggled. They've been doing so much of the attacking third right, but the final action is where they've been lacking. No game has gone without them having several opportunities. And then for Colorado Springs, they've spent the last few matches really shoring up things defensively, stabilizing the structure, getting some new pairings together, and the attack has taken a back seat. Now, ultimately, that's been a great decision because it's led to 2 positive results, but the next step to that is layering back in that creativity that this Colorado Springs attack is known for.
James Chambers was hesitant to say we have to get back to how we were at the beginning of the year because they were scoring goals but not winning games. So now they're starting to find the results, starting to clamp teams down defensively. So try to find that offensive creativity from earlier in the year, but in a newer, better model where they aren't leaking goals on the other end. Whistle blown by our head official, Atahan Yaya. Obviously, another big game for Orange County, not just to try and right the ship, but also given the fact that perhaps some new faces are going to get the chance to see this club, a local CBS affiliate, and it's a club that has a pretty positive notoriety in the USL. Danny Stone familiar with Orange County before he actually became a part of the organization as the head coach, having played against them in his previous stops across the USL Championship. So it's a good place to play. Championship Soccer Stadium has Nice setup, encourages community. There's a lot to do around the area with trails, parks, restaurants. And it's a very welcoming atmosphere, so it's not just for the soccer diehards, but for good family outings as well. Needless to say, since he came in last year, he's been very impressed with the environment around this Orange County club.
Typically just a very entertaining brand of soccer. Can always count on fast starts, fast tempo at times, and really, Mark, I think where we haven't seen this Orange County side is come into that full identity in the attack, and so much of that has been determined by the game circumstances, right? When you find yourself having to chase a lead, you're forced to play perhaps a game model that you otherwise wouldn't. And I believe that once they figure out a few things on the defensive side and maybe perhaps see some of the goals go in the first 15, 20 minutes like they've been missing, that offensive identity is going to come to light.
Let's peek at tonight's injury report presented by Zolfagari Law Firm, and it's what we like to see. These two sides working their way back to health. Season's long and it's arduous. No players are going to pick up knocks, but you have a larger selection of players for your 11 and your 18. It's just circumstances that'll help your team actually grow in the right direction. You don't have to play with a hand tied behind your back. Scott under some pressure. Able to release that one after taking a tumble. You know, Colorado Springs applying some pressure themselves, causing some havoc for Orange County in possession.
Maya McKinnon just looking for options to get out. Kyle Scott, a player who is typically quite tidy in those short distances, ends up finding himself under a bit of duress. And this is going to be a game, I think, of 15-minute spurts, right, where we see both of these teams go into high-pressure situations. They're both also comfortable sitting in those mid to low blocks, suffering a bit, playing without the ball. It's going to be an ebb and flow, and the real test is going to be the players that recognize it the fastest.
Some heavy contact will mean a free kick right around the corner of the penalty area. Kevin Partita intervening.
Kevin Partita, really the breaker of all the plays, the protector of that back line, as Danny Stone so adequately called him, but does give it up in a dangerous area. That's credit to Zach Zandy. Zach Zandy is a player who has continuously found himself more confident on the ball, and when he is confident going forward, he can create all kinds of problems.
What kind of problems can the Switchbacks create from this set piece? It was a set piece that authored their goal last week against the Riverhounds. Headed home by the captain, Matt Mahoney, who's recently been playing at that right back spot, usually a center back by trade. Just an elite defender, so wherever you put him, he'll operate. Aiden Rocha, the lone man behind the dead ball. Lofts it inside and nodded away with ease. Colorado Springs will reset all the way back to the goalkeeper, Christian Herrera. First time we've had to say his name. The game mainly taking place over here on this left half of the pitch. Isaiah Foster pulls it back to Matt Real. And ultimately a fruitless service. Enter the Prince Tires Tailgate Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $3,000. Scan the QR code on screen to enter today. Who wouldn't love $3,000? I mean, come on.
I don't think you're going to hear any complaints from the crowd.
No, certainly not.
Certainly not me.
I don't even know what I would do if I just suddenly had $3,000 handed to me. Orange County, for the first time, really pushing forward. This one laid out right to Dunbar. Cameron Dunbar smothered on the shot. First real opportunity to break forward for the home side.
And both players getting stuck into a challenge. Looked from that replay that Colorado Springs got the brunt of that. But it was really good transitional defense. The support from Methuselah coming just in time. Cameron Dunbar, if he takes that one first time, questionable if he couldn't have gotten the shot off.
Aiden Rocha slow to get up, and the decision is actually not going to be a corner kick. Certainly looked like the shot was deflected, but maybe it also took a glance off of Dunbar on the way out. So it will be a goal kick for Christian Herrera to redistribute. Christian Herrera, 28 years old, from Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's his 4th year with the club. A member of that championship winning side, and a big piece of that championship winning side, of course, as the goalkeeper. Colorado Springs, the reigning USL Championship title holders, on that route to claiming the title in the playoffs. They're able to welcome in Orange County inside their own confines and find a victory after extra time. Tejada pulls it back. Rocha. To the corner, it's Foster. Foster's cross. No one there to receive it for Colorado Springs. Trying to find that offensive identity after some defensive adjustments for the Switchbacks. Working to eliminate individual mistakes that were costing them games. James Chambers saying we wanted to make it more difficult for the opponent to hurt us and prevent the moments where we have to enact emergency defending.
Yeah, not only do I think that that's been mitigated just by some of the pairings that you now see for Colorado Springs starting 11, but I do think that there's a bit more balance in the way that they've structured this starting 11. Matt Real obviously can get a bit more higher, knowing that Matt Mahoney is pushed out to that right-hand side. Oftentimes, if he pushes forward on the left-hand side, they'll shift over to a 3-back, add a little bit more stability so they can have numbers going forward without risking all of that space and those potential mistakes behind them. And then we mentioned it when we looked at the lineups. Some tweaks in the midfield area has provided a bit more balance, specifically Aiden Rocha coming back into that central midfield position, oftentimes acting as the single pivot. That's allowed for players like Zach Zandy and Anthony Fontana to combine more, get closer to goal, and when those players are in the final third, that's really where they're at their best. And even Juan Tejada, right? The conversation with Juan Tejada, Justin Dillon. Justin Dillon obviously made his mark pretty early on with this Colorado Springs side, just in terms of his goal-scoring capability. Juan Tejada offers a different skill set, acting almost as a false 9 at times, but ultimately that adds, on the defensive side, another midfielder, and that's helped Colorado Springs shore up the defensive unit as well.
And cause problems in a swarm with Fontana, Zandy, Tejada coming at you. The Orange County SC Foundation's 2nd annual golf tournament on the tee with OCSC is taking place Wednesday, May 28th at Arroyo Trabuco Golf Course in Mission Viejo. Spots are going fast, so make sure to sign your foursome up today at orangecountysoccer.com under the Foundation tab. Like Tejada may have lost a contact.
Been there, done that, not a fun place to be.
Oof.
I was also, I don't know about Juan Tejada, it doesn't look like he's going to go for the extra pair, but I was also the player who you know, hey, we wear contacts. If you wear contacts, give the trainer the extra pair, right? You never know when you're going to need them. I was like, nah, that'll never happen to me. Happen to me more times than I can count. Did I ever learn my lesson? Absolutely not.
Then why would you? Luckily, it's something I've never had to deal with. 20/20 vision over here.
Okay, brag. Brag more, please.
Center back pairing of Garvin Metusla and Duke Lacroix. And a recent configuration for this Colorado Springs side with Mahoney now playing at the right back spot. You already highlighted the flexibility that gives the likes of Matt Real while they're on that left back spot. Metusla gives it over to Mahoney, the captain. This is Switchbacks team Danny Stone describes as tough to play against. Said we face them in the playoffs, and they have a lot of returning pieces, so kind of know what to expect. It sort of drew us a spectrum where if on one end New Mexico United are super possession-oriented, the most possession-oriented team they've played this year, versus FC Tulsa, another team they've matched up with who are the most vertical side. Well, they're able to deal with both of those well. Colorado Springs are going to fit somewhere in the middle there where they can go to one or the other. They'll have to react to the way the visitors approach any given situation. Tejada enters into the 18. Juan Tejada ushered off the ball.
And to go back to your point, the key for Orange County in a situation like this, where you have a team who can hurt you both ways, right? It's going to be about recognition of those moments when to press. So take New Mexico, for example, a team whose identity is firm. They are going to be on the ball. They don't mind being in some of those confrontational situations, and that's going to signal a more consistent press from Orange County. However, this Colorado Springs side, a team that's not afraid to go vertical when they need to, and you have to be able to respect that. And so it's really going to be key tonight for Orange County to recognize perhaps those short passes and when it makes sense to step a bit higher on the pitch.
Certainly just can't commit to one strategy or another. You gotta read and react. Also thought it was funny enough worth mentioning, Danny Stone mentioning how Colorado Springs won that last game just on a set piece, and he said, are you kidding me? If you said we were going to win a game 1-0 on a set piece, I'd snap your hand off shaking it.
Absolutely, and that's kind of where he's at right now, and I would say probably where James Chambers was at probably 2 games ago.
Yeah.
Head coaches are always walking this tightrope between patience that the performance and the good performances are going to continue or start to yield results, and also having that sense of urgency, right, where, hey, we're getting a little too late to start getting going. And right now, Danny Stone is in that balancing act where you have to make sure that the players know and make sure that they understand you're demanding urgency, but also praising them for the good things that they're doing. Because ultimately in that first 20 minutes versus New Mexico, if I was just watching the game, you take the score graphic away, I would think no doubt about it, Orange County's up 3-0. And so the performances for Orange County really haven't matched all of the results that they've been handed. But Danny Stone understands that this is a results-driven business. And at this point in time, it's going to have to be more from the players and from himself. He was very transparent about that as well.
Certainly an optimistic but measured conversation with Danny Stone, both understanding the situation they're in, but also certainly not panicked. I mean, it's a long season. We're only in May. There's a lot of time for teams to get back into good form, get back into bad form again before going to good form again by the time the season's done. There's so many ebbs and flows throughout a long soccer season. Hold up ahead nicely. Here's Hager. Cameron Dunbar running along that touch line.
And to your point, if you just look at the standings right now in the Western Conference at the live table, I mean, a win for either of these teams puts them right back above the playoff line. So to your point, season's still very young, and with the West being as tight as it is, especially mid to bottom of the pack, one result can really turn the rest of the season in your favor.
Seems like that's the case every year in the Western Conference.
I feel like a broken record.
Yeah, every single season, it's always so tight. It certainly was last year, and it's looking to be the same way this year as the free kicks incoming for Orange County. USL on the CBS Sports Network wraps up the month of May with a Western Conference doubleheader on May 28th. Hold that thought for just a moment. Players going down. Matchup, San Antonio FC takes on FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising FC at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Catch all of the action on the CBS Sports Network on May 28th. Dunbar releases it out wide to Ben Alcazar. He tries to tap that one inside. It's knocked out for a corner kick. This corner kick is presented by Cityside Fiber, first of the evening. Sun's still in the eyes of the players lining up inside the 6-yard box, notably Christian Herrera having to deal with that. Could be something that impacts this corner kick, especially coming from this right corner flag. A feint on the approach. Headed back across, claimed by Herrera. It's gonna be hard to beat Christian Herrera on corner kicks. 6'7", just a giant. Get up there, punch the ball out, and if you head it his way, oftentimes he'll get to stare that ball straight in its face. On the other end, Colin Shuttler. Third year with the club. Still looking for his first clean sheet after having 12 last season. Had a chance to chat with James Chambers about handling this press that Orange County can throw at you. Mentioned how effective it's been. Said you have to assess the options available and how are they pressing, as in what shape are they pressing in, finding the open, knowing who the open player is going to be. But with all that being said, it's easy to say how you handle a press. It's a lot different when someone's running at you at 100 miles per hour. I mean, that's the whole objective of operating with pressure, is just to get players frazzled and hurry up their decision making. Here's a look at the head honcho there. Rocha playing this back to Garvin Matusla. And talking about that pressure, it won't result in anything here. Partida once again the assailant, as the quickly retaken free kick is headed out. There's Fontana. Bouncing off the back of Dunbar. An unfortunate glance, but they win it right back, and now Dunbar's loose. Cameron Dunbar gliding into the penalty area. It's poked away. Persistence, though. how more dealt with by the Switchbacks.
And that final third entry from Orange County just now rewarded by the defensive pressure from their midfielders. Kyle Scott, you saw him fly out to pressure Methuselah. And actually, Colorado Springs does well to break the initial line of confrontation. But Mark, as you were just alluding to, that recognition, right, in that kind of cat and mouse game, Orange County ends up winning that one. They knew exactly where the play was going. Zandy, a few too many touches on the ball, and a transitional moment the other way.
That one spun in nicely. Played back up top. It's picture perfect. And Chris Hagert have given Orange County the lead. Some sweet relief for the home side. Finally putting one into the back of the net. Hagert claiming his first goal of the season.
Well, we highlighted him in the lineup for a reason. Last time these two teams met, he caused Colorado Springs all kinds of problems. And it's a direct ball into the box. A bit of lazy defending from Colorado Springs in terms of their tracking ability. But you have to give credit to Chris Hagert for being able to exploit the space. And all credit to the delivery.
A lovely ball down the pitch finds Tristan Traeger. And he's able to combine with Chris Hagert. This Orange County goal is brought to you by Hogue. And Orange County have taken the lead and now put themselves in a position they've not been able to find themselves in recently. After a bright start against New Mexico, they just couldn't find the back of the net. Severely outshoot North Carolina FC on the road. Couldn't find the back of the net. Now they've done it here. Dunbar with the cross. As the door swung open now for the home side. Dunbar couldn't bring that one in, at least not cleanly.
Really just a small glimpse of what Tristan Traeger will ultimately add to this roster and the depth of this Orange County attack. A player who came in preseason injured, couldn't participate really at all during the preseason, re-injured himself in the first week, and just starting to see him get back to game fitness. About 55 minutes last match versus New Mexico, and can really be pivotal. We talked about his defensive presence in that match against New Mexico, and now we're starting to see what he can do on the attack, come back to life, can act not only vertically, but can also act as a link-up player and be the top point of that diamond when this Orange County side tries to play without an attacking center midfielder. Usman Silla's injury, obviously a big caveat to that.
Silla back on the bench for this game, but gotta work him back in slowly. More contact and another free kick. Check out all the new arrivals for the 2025 season. This week's new arrivals feature the Back to Blue collection, including a royal blue and orange scarf, and fan favorites Sportic Ultra Cozy hoodies and t-shirts. Visit OCSCshop.com. Dunbar making his way inside. Still Cameron Dunbar. And on deck, a corner kick for Orange County. City side fiber corner kick here for you. Just needed to find a goal to boost that confidence. Danny Stone was telling us, you get that ball into the back of the net, especially earlier in the game, and then he can start getting somewhere. Chris Hagert from the right corner flag. Swinging ball headed down, off target. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. For a Western Conference doubleheader on May 28th, San Antonio FC versus FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. CBS Sports Network, 2DN. Pick your poison for those two games. Not a bad ball up top for Tejada. Taps it back. Fontana teasing ball across, couldn't connect. Foster. Royale knifed away, and it will be in favor of in favor of Orange County. 3-3 you're watching Orange County SC against Colorado Springs in the USL Championship. Either tuning in on ESPN Plus or for Orange County's debut on KCAL 9. Appreciate you joining us. A goal from Chris Hagert, assisted by Tristan Traeger, has given the home side the advantage.
And as always, a terrific crowd.
Oh yeah.
Here at the Champ. Gotta give the fans their due. Very much a soccer community too, and an intelligent enough fan base to know that the performances really haven't been all bad, and have to love the continued support from these guys, knowing that it was probably going to turn around if they just continued to trust the process, continued to show up, and they continue to show up in massive waves.
Support not wavering, that's for certain. Danny Stone trying to build a culture here, even though he's technically a returning coach. It's a lot harder to develop a culture when you have to step in the middle of the season. You don't have the opportunity to lay the groundwork in the preseason and the offseason prior to that. Now a corner kick for Colorado Springs. This corner kick presented by Cityside Fiber.
I love that interchange from Foster and Fontana. Foster's check down really made the defender pause. Fontana exploited that space and get the corner kick out of it.
Nothing but orange jerseys on the end of that one. We'll get another take though. Halting whistle from Atahan Yaya. By McKinnon and Juan Tejada. Locking themselves up a little bit. Punched away by Shuttler. A chance to rip one on goal. Doesn't get very far. Looking to quickly counterattack, unsuccessful. Colorado Springs, lovely ball, but it's headed away. Dunbar knew the contact was coming from Real. He was rushing in like a missile.
It's well done from Real.
Here's a peek. The replay brought to you by IBEW Local 441.
Solid tackle. Goes to ground confidently and keeps it in. Zach Zandy ends up drawing the foul, but all kudos to Matt Real. That moment of recognition. We've got to do everything we can to keep this second phase of play alive.
Colorado Springs enjoying another long spell of possession here. After conceding that goal, Orange County holding on to the ball for a good spat, but as you mentioned, Marion, this is going to be a game that's going to ebb and flow back and forth. Looking for the most flexible way to come down to the champ in 2025? Our 10-ticket flex packs are just what you need. Use these 10 tickets to attend multiple games with a friend, or grab your friends and family and use them all in one match. The choice is yours. It's, wait for it, flexible. Grab yours today at orangecountysoccer.com/flex-picks.
What delivery from you.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably the best sponsorship read I've heard all weekend. And we're pretty late in the day on Saturday.
Hey, listen, it's...
Since you care about my opinion so much, I know you do.
I value it highly. I highly value that. Tanyaya's opinion is that you need to reach into the book for the first time this evening. Kyle Scott with the thick headband going into the books.
Yeah, late challenge from behind. And the continued hold is ultimately probably what earned him the yellow card. He lets it go, perhaps just a foul. Kyle Scott, how good has he been? A true bright spot amidst every performance for Orange County this season.
Another free kick opportunity for Colorado Springs. Courtesy of the Scott foul. Three players clumped up right here for Colorado Springs, and then pretty spaced out outside of that. Service comes in. Ultimately nothing doing for the visitors.
Colorado Springs right now really intentional about trying to build and create overloads, little rondos in the wide space on the right-hand side. And while they've done well to earn free kicks on that far side, really the run of play options have been over here on the left side. We talked about it, the one that ended up in a corner kick opportunity. That movement by Foster and the recognition of Fontana, that's really where the space is for Colorado Springs to exploit.
But now Kazar on the right touch line. We'll roll this one back to Hagert. "40 minutes through. Hagert, the goal scorer in this one. Orange County, after a 2-game losing skid, 2 very frustrating losses, games where they felt they were the better side, have got the lead in this one. This one chested down. Ooh, that was rough. Hanya goes to ground and then took some extra contact after the fact, colliding with Brewitt. And Brewitt is clutching his right knee. Hanya is also in some considerable pain. Trainers being waved onto the pitch as both of them are still down on the ground. Another look at the collision. Partita will be given a yellow card for this. He's already committed a couple infractions in this game, so it's not surprising.
That's a bit unfortunate for Brewitt and Hanya there. Brewitt just trying to mitigate the moment, 1v1 defending. Doesn't realize, obviously, that Partita has already come into the back. That's a half of a second, less than that probably. And those two players ultimately the two worst for wear.
So Partita and Scott, 2 members of that midfield trio for Orange County in the books. Tom Brewitt. And donning the captain's armband. Still not off the ground. Hanya's on his feet once more.
Colorado Springs, you absolutely want to continue driving at Partita, a player of his style, one that is meant to break up play, get into tackles, going strong. He's going to have to be all the more cautious now that he's already on a yellow. If you're Colorado Springs, you keep that in the back of your mind. Fortunately for this Orange County side, you do have some options, right? We don't see Koa Santos in the lineup today. Nico Benalcazar drops back to that right back position, but he obviously has been tremendous for them in the central spaces.
Yeah, to get a yellow card for a repeat infractions in the first half doesn't bode well for your chances unless you really clean it up in the second half of action and what's left of this first half. Aiden Rocha behind the ball. From a long distance out. Rocha. Service in, punched away by Shuttler. Zandy has a go. Honestly, not a bad take from there, but does glide too high.
It's a really good delivery from Rocha. Matt Mahoney just can't seem to find it. And then, my goodness, Zach Zandy, why not? And I love that, right? When you are chasing a lead, when you have been a bit sluggish going forward, sometimes all you need is that one big individual moment to start to ignite the energy for your team. And as they get closer to closing this half out, if you're Colorado Springs and James Chambers, you want that momentum to be in your favor going into the half. It's really been all Orange County.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. "45 minutes down. We're going to get 4 more minutes added on, presented by Zolfagari Law Firm. A couple of fouls, of course, that collision between Brewitt and Hanya, and a goal. All adding up to 4 for our 4th official. Coming for the home side. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Maybe we'll see you next time they have a game here at the Champ or at Widener Field if you're a Colorado Springs fan. 2 fantastic venues in the USL landscape. Both of which also provide some great sightseeing nearby. Foster Trying to juggle that through several orange jerseys. And now Hager pops it forward. Traeger picks up the pieces. Tristan Traeger across the center. Tried to be unselfish, but it results in no test on the goalkeeper.
And question if that's not going to be an offside call. It is for me. But regardless, Colorado Springs does well to mitigate the transitional moment, makes the play predictable. Tristan Traeger really only has two options: go near post, which Herrera had covered, or send it to the incoming runner, which the retreating Matt Mahoney had covered. So well done by Colorado Springs defensively, but I think it would have come back from an offside call anyway.
Down on the ground is Isaiah Foster, just his third appearance of the season. A man from Frederick, Maryland. It's his first start this year. It's his first start with Colorado Springs, having come over from FC Cincinnati. Though, he did get loaned to Colorado Springs back in 2022, so it's not his first bout with the club. So this time he's on their payroll.
So tough. He's so tough.
30 more seconds roughly left in this half. That's the man who has the difference in this game. Actually going to sound the whistle a little bit early here. 1-0 your scoreline. Orange County with the lead. A long ball to Tristan Traeger is then played back to the penalty spot. And Chris Hager tucks it home to give the home side a 1-0 advantage.
I think it's been a very methodical start for the home side. Defensively, they've been content letting Colorado Springs have the ball in front of them. They haven't created too many chances, but finally they've been efficient in the ones that they have. If you're Colorado Springs, you're going to have to move the ball at a much quicker tempo in order to pull this Orange County defense apart.
So that'll be your score line going into the break. We've got some halftime content coming your way, both on ESPN Plus and KCAL 9. 1-0 in favor of Orange County. We're going to step aside briefly. When we come back, we'll talk about what's coming up in the future for these two sides. We'll see you then.
Why is Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? It's because we only bottle the best Alpine spring water, less than 1.5 miles from the natural spring source. And we're committed to preserving and managing those springs to ensure that they stay pristine. So when you want the best water nature has to offer, the choice is crystal clear. Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
welcome you back here to Championship Soccer Stadium. They've got some halftime entertainment ready for you, just like they're having there for the home fans. Some great dance moves being broken out. Let's talk about what these two teams have coming up in their upcoming schedules. First off, for the home side, this is the slate that is on the docket for Danny Stone's side of 2 road trips. Actually, make that 3 straight road trips for Orange County. So really need to tie this one up here at home before they have to go to some pretty tough places to play.
Yeah, this is a tough schedule at Monterey Bay FC. Right now sitting 5th in the standings. Phoenix rising just above the playoff line as well. El Paso, what a team they have turned out to be at this point in the season. 4th right now in the Western Conference. Zach also in the playoffs. And then, oh yeah, by the way, Loudon, a team that's challenging Charleston Battery for the top spot in the East.
Yeah, I got to make sure you can slow down Abacora out there in the East with Loudon. Meanwhile, for Colorado Springs, they get their first Jägermeister Cup. They've been avoiding that action so far, but they finally get it going. You mentioned it already. This El Paso Locomotive team going to be tough to beat on the road. So this is game 1 of a 3-game road stretch themselves, and you count this Orange County matchup.
Yeah, El Paso Locomotive sitting at 16 points right now. New Mexico just above them at 18. So that's going to be a tough road match for this Colorado Springs side.
A lot of West Coast clashes for Colorado as they duke it out there. We're enjoying ourselves here on ESPN Plus and KCAL 9. They're enjoying themselves there at Championship Soccer Stadium. Now let's take a look at the goal and save of the week in the USL.
Dashes free, curls it into the area, on the back post, headed loose. Oh, turned away by Garcia. Did it cross the end line? Wow, Javier Garcia making a winning play. That's the scenario we're working with. Josh Drag joining the fold. Obregon trying from afar. This is audacious, and it's in! You have just witnessed one of the best goals you'll see all year in USL League One.
In the 11, knocked over. Romario Williams chested down. Oh, what a stop by Jamali Wade.
2 successful seasons in Birmingham before coming to the Rowdies.
Hostad. Oh, it's a blast. 1-0. Rhode Island goes on top.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Bomb's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Bomb's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Who wants that smoke? You want that smoke? Look, I ain't playing, I'm saying this
here in Irvine, California for some more halftime content here. 1-0, Orange County with the lead. A long sought-after goal for this Orange County side. Mark Schuster, Marion Crowder with you here. Let's take a look at what's been going on in the rest of the league, both in talking points and just a great clash between two sides who've had a great start. Here's some news from around the league. First off, shout out to the great run the Pittsburgh Riverhounds had. The lone representatives in the round of 32 in the USL Championship, but also representation being found in the Gold Cup preliminary rosters. Just goes to show you that the more the game grows in the country, it's an opportunity for more players to get minutes in meaningful games and prove their worth to these national teams and to then get a look once the opportunity arises. I mean, Orange County, a great example of players getting the opportunities to get looks after proving themselves, especially for some of these young players. For example, Pedro Guimaraes is getting a look with the U17 national team. He'll be going off to Spain later this month after the game against Monterey Bay. So, with that in mind, that's about everything we've had to touch base on here, Marion. So, I think we're going to step aside and get ourselves ready for the second half of action. It's got highlights and stats to knock out, and then it'll be the second half kick here. 1-0 your scoreline will stay that way after 45 more minutes. Stay locked in to find out.
At the Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute, we function as a unit. Neurosurgery and neurology, physical medicine and rehab, physical therapy. It's patient-focused, patient-centered care. The future of the neurosciences at Hoag is filled with promise. We are at the cusp of incredible advancements and innovations that are truly going to transform medical care and its delivery. Patients don't just get a doctor when they come to Hoag, they get Team Hoag.
I'm Jay, and as founder of Omega, I understand that as a business owner, you've got a lot in your mind. Let the tax credit ninjas at Omega get you the money. It's rightfully yours. It's not too late to score big on tax credits, but you gotta act fast.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
RAV4 hybrid shoppers, listen up. You're paying more and getting less. The all-new Mazda CX-50 hybrid packs the same Toyota trusted hybrid powertrain, but delivers premium performance and more luxury. Why pay RAV4 prices when you get more with the CX-50 hybrid? And while Toyota dealers struggle with inventory, we have CX-50 hybrids in stock now at Tustin Mazda. Better tech, better value. Skip the wait. Buy a Mazda CX.
This USL Championship broadcast is brought to you by the Noah Benadou Foundation. Once again, the Noah Benadou Foundation wants to remind fans to never drive drunk and get home safely. About to get the second half started here, but first off, let's catch up on everything that took place in the first 45 minutes of action. Started off with this corner kick. Christian Herrera able to handle it nicely.
Yeah, no harm, no foul for the towering Christian Herrera, but it was his first touch of the game. His next touch would not be so lucky. In the 28th minute of action, a bit of a quick free kick from Benalcazar. Tristan Traeger, great run into the box, and then watch the middle of your screen. A bit reactional in the tracking from Aiden Rocha in the center portion of the 18-yard box, and Chris Hagert, who gets the start tonight for a very specific reason, absolutely makes this Colorado Springs side pay.
Here are your halftime stats. Pretty even across the board. Just a couple more shots and actually shots on target for Orange County. It's been a little bit lacking creativity-wise for this Colorado Springs side.
Hopefully they start to move the ball at a bit of a quicker tempo. We talked about it going into the break that this is an Orange County side who's been content letting them play in front of them. We haven't seen that high pressure like we did against New Mexico, and so much of that is respect to what Colorado Springs can do in terms of their verticality. Now it's going to be, as you so rightfully mentioned, a little bit more creativity needed from Colorado Springs so that they can pull this Orange County shape out of the structure.
So we are off and running once again here in the second half. Chris Hager with the lone goal. There'll be no changes from the starting 11s for both sides coming into the second half, so those personnel changes will have to wait. They're watching Orange County SC, Colorado Springs Switchbacks on ESPN Plus or on KCal 9 in Los Angeles. Mark Schoenster, Marion Crowder with you here. Both of these sides still trying to find that flow this season. It's been a bit of a grind so far. Perhaps a chance, though, for one of these teams to get into that rhythm. Certainly right now the home side more likely to do that. Very quickly, Tom Brewitt, the captain, going down, suffered a pretty rough collision in the first half with Yosuke Hanya. Brewitt, 28 years old, from Liverpool. Came in and knew he had some of that leadership capability before joining the side, and quickly earned his spot with the armband on this side. And they're going to sub him out. He thought he could play through it, but that won't end up being the case. Probably need to be better safe than sorry. A lot of games still left in the season, and you don't want to do anything worse to it.
And it does seem to be that same knee. That right knee is the one that they were looking at in the collision with Hanya. Right knee seems to be the one that the athletic trainer for Orange County was looking at just now. A noticeable hobble for Tom Brewitt, and not something that this home side wants to see at all.
So out goes Tom Brewitt, and in comes Ashton Miles. This substitution is presented by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Miles with a little under 300 minutes played this season, an assist. See how this affects who plays where for Orange County. Certainly one of the situations where you don't plan to sub out your captain at the center back spot, so got to make some adjustments on the fly. Whistle blown by our head official, Atahanyaya. It'll be a test for Orange County now, have to do it without their captain for the rest of this game. This will be a good test to see what this team is made of, and of that culture that they've been building in Orange County. Danny Stone saying that building that culture doesn't happen overnight. They're doing a lot of things internally to make the environment as professional as possible, from routines to nutrition to the facilities. Basically, his objective is, I'm going to ask the players a lot and then give them a lot so then they can accomplish those things. Feels there's still a long way to go in building what this program can be. He's got a lot of ideas in his head that he wants to implement to continually make Orange County better and better. Foster gives it back to Rocha. Now with the curling ball, a lunging header knocks that away. Colorado Springs here in the second half are going to be fishing for ideas how to unlock this Orange County team. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Ryan Dogman will toss this one in, now donning the armband after the exit of Tom Brewitt. Long distance effort will skip wide. Definitely some lofty expectations there. Effort made by Nico Benalcazar, whom already had a lofty attempt actually pay off for him with that quick free kick played forward to Traeger. It's the kind of fast one you see get pulled, and 9 times out of 10 doesn't end up going anywhere, but you do it 9 times, so then that 10th time it clicks. Let's see if you can catch the opposition sleeping. Lance ball will go out for a corner kick for the visitors.
Nico Benalcazar had a lot of praise coming from his head coach, Danny Stone. We talked really just about how Orange County had been tweaking a lot of things, trying to figure out exactly what combination, exactly what shape was going to work, and Nico Benalcazar has kind of been that Swiss Army knife who has equal ability to be effective in rotating through those central roles that we've seen him in the last few matches, but he also has an ability to be an outstanding defender and really gives this Orange County team some versatility.
Always helpful we can have a player who's flexible in their positioning. Armless ball there. Enter the Prinks Tires Tailgate Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack with worth up to $3,000. Scan the QR code on screen to enter today. You could get a grill, foldable chair.
Mark, put your phone away. I see you trying to scan that QR code. Stop it.
I could get a tire too. I mean, look at that. Could always use an extra tire.
Would save you a trek. You know, I am one who always finds a nail in my tire of some sort. So I would say that's a funny joke, but for me, it's actually a very realistic need.
Just got to keep one on hand. And I'm not talking about an emergency tire. Orange County on the prowl. Service denied. Colorado Springs trying to stack on results and then use positive results to then build their identity. James Chambers saying that they haven't been able to get the results with some of the decent performances. So you got to find those results and then figure it out from there. So we're getting the clean sheets now, so let's get better on the other end of the ball. Ryan McKinnon knocked over and a free kick incoming for Orange County.
It's been very methodical on the defensive side of the ball for Orange County. Because of that, we really haven't called Ryan McKinnon's name all that much. It was really well to earn a dangerous free kick here. We'll see Chris Haggard over it.
Be looking to tack on an assist to his already goal contribution performance here. Slotting it bottom right corner on the other end of the pitch in the first half. Haggard's ball curled inside, punched away by Herrera. Was able to spray that one away.
What a delivery by Haggard. And not only that, but the options available to him. But Christian Herrera, my goodness. You mentioned it earlier, Mark, his towering figure. He's going to see most of those at eye level. Doesn't mean that he's going to have the reaction time to be able to parry it away. He does ever so well in this situation. Does give up a corner kick, but I tell you what, it's much better than a goal.
City side fiber corner kick for Orange County SC. Look to break through from this vantage point. It's a low-driven ball. It'll end up being a throw. Similar spot from the last reset. Collision away from the ball will result in a yellow card. Anthony Fontana going to the books. His 5th yellow card of the season. Let's look at it again on the IBEW local 441 replay.
Right in front of the sideline official. Anthony Fontana. Montana never going to get away with that one. Such close proximity. Not too much to argue there from our vantage point.
So effectively a corner kick for Orange County. Montana not done talking. And a lot of peacemaking from Atahanyaya here inside the penalty area for these set pieces. It'll be Hager on the delivery. Dips down nicely! The header goes wide. Looking for the reverse goal there, Hager to Traeger.
Well, Hagert's set piece delivery has been excellent this evening. What a look this is. The bend, the dip, Traeger times it ever so well. His run into the box, timing with the header, just misses the frame. And is it time for my hot topic of the match yet? Are we ready for that?
Hit me.
My hot topic of the match is anytime referees try to do the peacemaking thing inside the 18-yard box, why? Either there's a foul, call it, or let play presume.
Yeah.
That's my hot topic for the night. I'm done. You're welcome. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm so happy to be here.
Got on your soapbox and
I have to, you know, once a day, Mark, once a day. Have to get on there.
certainly earned the right to have that opportunity. There's always a ton of jostling inside of a penalty area on a set piece. I mean,
exactly. If it's enough, call the foul. If it's not, let's go.
Colorado Springs readying their first substitution for this game. Ripped ball in the center, falls down. Dogman tries the volley with the left boot. Now we get the substitution. Isaiah Foster, his first start of the season, will see his night come to an end. And Marco Micheletto will sub in. This substitution brought to you by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks.
And this will be interesting because typically we've seen Marco Micheletto come in for Aiden Rocha, and where you find perhaps some defensive stability with Aiden Rocha, you get a little bit more of that creativity going forward in Marco Micheletto. So that change would have made sense to me. Obviously, he comes in for Foster instead. And perhaps looks like they're going to go with two up top in Tejada and Hanya and play a bit more of a 4-1-3-2, provide them some more options, closer spacing, and a few more creative players on the pitch at that.
Looking to shake things up as that nearly trickled through for Traeger. Contact will be called fair play by the assistant referee who was right there. Dunbar, as well as Matt Real on the scene. And we're going to get ourselves another City Side Fiber corner kick. Two-thirds of the way through this match, Chris Hager, still the lone goal scorer. He's put in some tasty crosses since then. Dipping down nicely! Cameron Dunbar with some style. A much-earned pop-off from the crowd after Cameron Dunbar puts that one away right in front of goal.
Well, 3 times now we've credited the service. This is actually the least problematic of all 3 of them, but it's the timing of the run. Nico Benalcazar, the delayed run, allows him to time that header perfectly. Not only that, but it allows the recycled movement of Cameron Dunbar to occur. He gets himself in perfect position in front of Herrera, just has to help it on. And that is a beautiful piece of a dead ball execution. Chris Hagar, Nico Benalcazar, all playing vital roles. And Cameron Dunbar, a cheeky, intelligent finish.
That's another Orange County goal brought to you by Hogue. Pretty close to a bicycle kick finish, if not a bicycle kick finish. Just needed to put that one along, got on his back to do it.
And how often do we see bicycle attempts just be the entire wrong decision in terms of the finish that needs to occur? Really, Cameron Dunbar had no other option. He knew exactly where he was in frame of goal, knew that he was probably blocking Herrera's view at some shape or form, and does just enough to help it on. Have to give so much credit to that delayed run from Nico Benalcazar, the willingness to go up and get that one over Colorado Springs defender.
Orange County has been looking for these goals, needing to be more ruthless when they get their chances. That is a prime example of being ruthless and unforgiving when the ball comes your way. Making the right decision when you're at that crunch point. The Orange County SC Foundation's second annual golf tournament on the tee with OCSC is taking place Wednesday, May 28th at Arroyo Trabuco Golf Course in Mission Viejo. Spots are going fast, so make sure to sign your foursome up today at orangecountysoccer.com under the Foundation tab.
Well, when we look back to the keys of the game, the one for Orange County was simple. It was conversion. And Mark, it's interesting. This has probably been the game in recent stretch of 4 matches that they've created the least in, but they've been the most efficient with their chances. And then you look at the key for Colorado Springs, which was to reignite some of that creativity, and where their shape hasn't been poor on the defensive side whatsoever. It was 2 dead ball situations that they gave up. We really haven't seen them question the Orange County shape enough here tonight, and ultimately couldn't really think of too many quality opportunities in the final third for them through 65 minutes.
I mean, there's the issue. I mean, if you think about it, you can win games, you can win a lot of games by locking down defensively and being really solid on that side of the ball, winning games 1-0 consistently. But the fact of the matter is there are going to be matches where you concede, especially on set pieces, where you could be great during the run of play, but then one good set piece undoes you, and you have to figure out how to respond on the other end.
Danny Stone gets his wish. Said, hey, I'll take a scoring off a set piece.
Yeah, he did.
Now he gets 2. Congratulations, my man.
Sometimes, no matter how the goal comes, you just need a ball to hit the back of the net to get things going offensively, get that boost of confidence. Nice cutback ball! And an answer for the Switchbacks! Anthony Fontana slots it down the right-hand side, and we've got a ball game.
Well, I told you in the first half that Colorado Springs was really trying to force the issue down the right-hand side, and the left-hand side was the one that had the space, had the favorable matchups. Matt Real finally finds himself into a higher position. The underlap from Hanya, that's where they found success in their most recent matches, and the finish, my goodness. Fontana, that's not an easy finish. On the run, outside the frame of goal, has to open his hips, does it in one touch.
Scott with the challenge. And just moments ago, you're talking about how uninspired this Colorado Switchbacks team has been, Colorado Springs Switchbacks team has been in this game. Immediately find that answer, and now you get a jolt.
It felt sluggish, didn't it, in the attack leading up to that goal, and that goal was a prime example. When you move the ball quickly, when you find those options off of it, the movement quality off the ball is there, good things happen.
Nicoletto winding about, tried to draw a foul there, and now they're gonna give it to him. And it's Kevin Bartita, who is already on a yellow card. Seemed like a late whistle to me, but perhaps just a moment to assess the situation and then make the call.
Well, Marco Micheletto doing ever so well to get himself turned. From my vantage point, it looked like he got a lot of the ball. I really felt like it was the challenge before Micheletto got turned. It was the foul call.
Micheletto drives it in, falls down, but that placement goes right down the middle, and Colin Shuttler claims it nicely.
And although not the strike that Aiden Rocha would have wanted on frame, the response has been there from Colorado Springs. And that was my question after that goal. Who responds better, right? Is it going to be this Orange County side who is desperate for a win? Is it going to be Colorado Springs grabbing and holding on to that momentum? And perhaps now, Mark, the game that we promised everybody, that ebb and flow, that end-to-end kind of action, maybe that's exactly what we're headed for.
Ball lofted beyond the stands and into one of the pavilions. Tusla will distribute it over to Mahoney. Nicoletto glanced away by Ryan McKinnon. Seemed like that one had gone out of bounds, and it did. And now some contact from Colorado Springs means a free kick for Orange County. Check out all the new arrivals for the 2025 season. This week's new arrivals features the Back to Blue collection, including a royal blue and orange scarf, and fan favorite Sporting Ultra Cozy hoodies and t-shirts. Visit OCSCshop.com. Hager gets knocked over. Free kick incoming for Orange County. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Kyle Scott slow to get up. He'll get checked up. A couple of water bottles will be acquired during this stoppage in play. More minutes to go in this one. A goal in the first half by Chris Hager. And then in the second, Cameron Dunbar with a fantastic finish. But then an answer 5 minutes later from Colorado Springs brings us back within a goal. You're watching on ESPN Plus and KCAL 9. Jonas Marion Crowder with you here as Kyle Scott sitting up but not back up on his feet. We've talked a lot about in this game about these two sides trying to figure themselves out here in the month of May. One nice thing is, and James Chambers acknowledged it, is the format of the U.S. system when it comes to professional soccer.
No doubt.
Which is the fact that this isn't a league where you're just playing for #1 at the top of the table. There's a playoffs where 8 teams in each conference make it and then have the chance to go forward. So you do not need to be playing your best ball until near the end of the year, as long as you're picking up points here and there to make it into the playoffs. Gives you a chance to stay the course a little bit as we get 2 changes for the home side. And some extra firepower at that for Orange County. So Kyle Scott, after going down, will be replaced by Bryce Jamison. And Tristan Traeger will step out, and Mahamadou War will take his place. Both of these substitutions brought to you by MediQuit, turning setbacks into comebacks. So although both of these teams aren't exactly sitting at the top of the table right now, having surging starts to the season, neither coach, when we had the chance to chat with them, were too frazzled about it. James Chambers himself saying, I'd be more concerned if there was a basic principle lacking, but that's not the case. So there's no panic there. There's no panic talking to Danny Stone either. You have time to really lay that foundation, get yourself playing the footy you want to be playing.
And for Colorado Springs, particularly, if you look at 2024 at this point in the season, very similar statistics. Through 10 matches played in 2024, they had 11 goals allowed, 11 goals scored, 0 goal differential, right? 3 clean sheets. If you look at 2025, yeah, they've allowed more goals. They've also scored more goals. 15 goals allowed, 14 goals scored. Now those numbers change a bit. That was coming into this match, obviously. And they're 2 clean sheets as opposed to 3, right? So statistically very similar to your point. And although James Chambers says that, we're not comparing anything to last season, it's a brand new season, brand new roster, of course, but as a coaching staff, you do have some familiarity with trying to wade through the red flags of, is this a problem? Should we be concerned, or are we still just trying to find our identity? I think that's boding well in their favor right now.
Being able to say been there, done that is super helpful. Can also help give faith to people that don't have as educated a view on the team as well. whether it be fans or maybe people on the more business side of things within your organization. You can go, look, this happened last year and we were able to right the ship. So make sure you just keep trusting in us. We still believe. And that might even be putting it lightly. It's not just a blind faith in the team. They have tangible evidence that things are going well. It's just not translating to the score sheet yet. At some point it'll have to, but
it's still just May.
Right, exactly. Another change incoming, this time for the visitors. Fjellberg will sub in. Yosuke Hanya will take his leave. This substitution brought to you by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Fjellberg just entered the game against the side netting. Bouncing out here. So we got about 13 more minutes of the allotted 90 to go. Orange County donning their official orange kits for the first time this season, and Anthony Fontana, excuse me, has just been given his second yellow. Down a goal and now down a man. Anthony Fontana is being sent off. After scoring the goal that put his side back in this game.
Oh, that's silly from Fontana. And while he does get the ball, he's got to go up and over the back of Traeger to get there.
It's a moment where you got to have some situational awareness that you're already on a yellow card and you can't just go bludgeoning into something like that. So now for the rest of this match, Colorado Springs down a player.
And literally as that was unfolding, I was getting ready to praise the structural change from this Colorado Springs side. I think the three across with the single pivot being Aiden Rocha in terms of how they're moving forward has provided a lot more options for players on the ball. And now you have to wonder, as you see Matt Mahoney playing a bit more central now, just how much more important his contribution comes to this game, just how much more important Matt Real's contribution becomes into this match. The onus now falling on the center back pairing for Colorado Springs, who have been very good for the majority of the match here today.
Once again, the two goals they've conceded by product of set pieces. Both of them combining with three players, Alcazar to Traeger to Hager, and then Hager to Benalcazar to Dunbar, being the two goals.
And obviously the recognition of when to press and when to step all lines becomes that much more important when you're down a man. You're not going to be able to go full speed ahead for the next 10 minutes, but you are going to be able to recognize some situational moments where it makes sense, the risk is worth the reward.
Fjellberg has that knocked away from him. And Orange County will spray that one up ahead, and Herrera also could be a part of that formula by doing things like this where he cheats way up the pitch, obviously to some risk. And we'll get a shove from Dogman. Now a change for Colorado Springs. Matt Real will sub out, and Justin Dillon is in. Some more offensive firepower in this substitution, brought to you by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks.
And that change will likely fully push this Colorado Springs side into a 3-back. You'll see a few more midfield numbers, and obviously Tejada will drop a bit deeper underneath Dillon, act more as that attacking midfield player, link up with Micheletto, and perhaps allow players like Fjellberg, like Zach Zandy to still add some width to this match.
It'll be Micheletto on the free kick. Set piece is a great chance to test the goalkeeper. Falls down, volleyed effort! Ends up spraying wide.
The prep touch really nice there from Aiden Rocha. Just catches it on the wrong side of his boot. I see the thought though, trying to curl that one into the top bin. That would have been a picturesque finish, my goodness. Are you looking for the most flexible way to come down to the champ in 2025? Well, look no further. Our 10-ticket flex packs are just what you need. Use these 10 tickets to attend multiple games with a friend, or grab your friends and family and use them all in one match. The choice is yours. It's, what do you say, Mark? Flexible. Grab yours today at orangecountysoccer.com/flex-packs.
Great job.
Thank you all for allowing me to contribute to the sponsorship reads. It's what I look forward to the most in these 90 minutes. Just kidding. That's a joke.
Top 3 favorite things on the broadcast for Marion Crowder. Sponsored reads, second breaking down goal scored.
Yeah. Make sure you get that order right. A clear number 1.
Always open for hire, by the way. Colorado Springs certainly trying to keep the pressure on despite the man disadvantage. Fjellberg from that left channel. Orange County just seems like you're waiting for that opportune moment to spring a counterattack, with Colorado Springs committing numbers forward. I mentioned we haven't seen a ton of that Orange County press in this game, but perhaps this is a time to start rolling it out.
When you kind of wonder, as Anthony Fontana was able to get 1 goal back and make this questionable in terms of the result for Orange County, if it was too much of a defensive approach, right? I credit the methodical programming here from Danny Stone and his side.
No bad idea there.
Not at all. But we also talked about the fact that this match is probably the one where they've created the least amount of opportunities out of their last 4 or 5. And so you have to wonder, right, if inviting that much time and space on the ball for Colorado Springs didn't inevitably backfire just a bit. You're still going to be pleased with the performance, and I go back to what I said, that they have respect for Colorado Springs' ability to be vertical. They forced them to play in front, and for the most part, it's worked out very nicely for the home side.
It's worked out nicely here for the home fans at Championship Soccer Stadium. Just an elite atmosphere, an elite venue in general across the USL Championship. Nicoletto playing it back to Herrera. Orange County trying to force a mistake. It's one thing to play to press when it's equal footing. You know that there's going to be an open man somewhere, but that's not always the case when you're down a player and you're facing that press. As you see two changes readying themselves.
It's well done by Marco Micheletto.
Tejada plays it back to Matusla. Lobbed ball over top. Card issued in the 78th minute from our most recent goal scorer, Anthony Fontana. Now we'll get some changes here. Substitutions brought to you by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Chris Hager subbing his, or making his way off this game. What a match for Hager. 1 goal and the hockey assist. And then Dunbar, who was on the receiving end of that 2nd goal. Both of these brought to you by MediQuip, once again, turning setbacks into comebacks. Coa Santos stepping into the game. Arteta tapping it back. Orange County looking to grind out the rest of this one. Up a goal, up a man. Looking for a win after 2 disappointing losses these last 2 outings. Brian pointed out, those 2 games severely creating more chances than their opponent and yet not finding a result. That hasn't been the story in this game, and yet here we are. Goes to show you the funky nature of the beautiful game. Jamison not understanding that decision. Dylan shuts that one down, but no one able to scoop it up for Colorado Springs. Pop ball over top, looking for Dylan. Start getting into the hopeful ball territory for Colorado Springs, where you just start throwing what you can at the opposition. Wish for something to go in your favor. They're going to get a good amount of time to keep prodding. This one's chested down. We're going to get 6 minutes of stoppage time presented by Zulfagari Law Firm. So still time for an answer for the visitors. Tusla. Ball over top to Fjellberg. Fjellberg. A three-man collision there. And he's the one worse for wear. Hitting Ashton Miles and Colin Shuttler in the air. Norwegian striker Jonas Fjellberg.
Just absolutely fearless from Fjellberg, and nearly gets it there. But Ashton Miles inserting himself, making it a bit more traffic, and Herrera's inside the 18-yard box.
Still 5 more minutes to go. Punched down by Shuttler. Follow-up attempt, sliding block. Micheletto chips it inside. Herrera is still there. Talk about a gutsy decision. I understand why you'd want to bring up the 6'7" goalkeeper on a corner kick, but holy smokes, we still have 4 more minutes to go. Long ball tossed in. Now Jamison. Good sliding challenge from Micheletto. Tejada stabs it to Rocha. Bounces inside the 18. Dillon. It's going to be tough to get enough power on it from that distance. Certainly respect the gumption, but you're going to have to absolutely rip your laces through it from that spot. Now Orange County on the prowl. Ward takes the shot, and he drills it home. A banger to put Orange County up 3-1. This is the game they've been looking for.
And this is just part of the game that you play. When you're chasing a lead, you get caught in transitional moments, but all credit to Orange County. My goodness, that's a goal of the week contender, no doubt. Mohamedou War, take a bow, sir. Gets his laces completely through it. And Herrera, although he guesses right, and the reaction is decent, the 6'7" goalkeeper for Colorado Springs outstretched, just can't even manage it.
Or second goal of the season. He loves scoring late too. Mohamedou War finding the back of the net with a nail in the coffin goal. This Orange County goal brought to you by Hogue. They've been searching and searching for this kind of result. Mohamedou War, both his goals this season in league play, coming in stoppage time in the second half. The first of which being in the 97th minute to tie a game against Lexington here in Orange County. So, starting to build some lore that Mohamedou War waits for the close. Taking to the corner now. Run out more of this clock. worth mentioning, Moore also has scored once in the Open Cup, and that goal was in the 84th minute. So he gets subbed into the game. Of course, that's going to make it so your goal contributions are a little bit later in the match. Is usually an off-the-bench kind of guy, but
super sub, no doubt about it.
Fjellberg rips this one inside, and Colin Shuttler in some traffic is able to handle it.
Yeah, that's a very good grab by Colin Shuttler. If he doesn't handle that one cleanly, multiple Colorado Springs players sliding into the back post. Danny Stone, how happy he has to be. You mentioned it, this is not necessarily the performance they needed. These are the results they needed to see, and those are two very different things.
Well, that was certainly an awkward transaction.
I think what stands out to me in that conversation we had with Danny Stone is we were praising, right, several of the performance moments that his side has put on. And ultimately he said, yes, while all those things are good, we're not getting results. And because of that, the players need to give more. Well, tonight he got that 5% more, that 10% more from every single player on the pitch. And these loyal home fans get the performance and the result to go with it.
They've been under pressure, and in these 90 minutes, they forged a dazzling response. Orange County victorious 3-1 against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Just great performance from Orange County. As we're now a little bit of a manhunt here. It's been a great game. There's a lot of different players that would be worth highlighting in this game as our man of the match. But you're gonna have to wait with bated breath while we get you a good look. And there he is. Our man of the match, presented by Takari Oi, is Chris Hager, instrumental on the first 2 goals in this game, then subbed out.
There was no doubt that he was in the starting 11 for a reason. He caused a lot of problems for Colorado Springs in the round 2 playoff loss that they had, and now he gets to be on the right side of this matchup, inserted into the starting 11, as you mentioned, had something to do with both of the 2 early goals and sends his team onwards to a 3-1 victory.
So with that, we're gonna step aside. When we come back, the ESPN Plus crew will get some post-game content. For those of you on KCal9, we hope you had a fantastic time watching this one. 3-1 your final score. Tonight's final score is presented by F3 Energy, and it's 3 goals for Orange County to 1 for Colorado Springs. Mark Schoenster, Marion Crowder with you here on ESPN Plus. Let's take you through everything that happened over these 90 minutes, starting off with a heads-up free kick from Nico Benalcazar.
Yeah, very well said. Nico Benalcazar fakes a little bit, sees the direct run of Tristan Traeger. What a touch, what a cutback. Finds the delayed run of Chris Hagart. To be fair, a little bit of a stopped working moment from the midfielders of Colorado Springs, but Chris Hagart made them pay. And then in the 61st minute, one wasn't enough. How about two? And how about a beauty from Cameron Dunbar? Chris Hagart on the hockey assist, as you mentioned, and the delayed run of Nico Benalcazar. Both of those players involved in the first goal. They're involved in the second as well. But Colorado Springs wasn't quite done. For one of the few moments in this match that we saw Matt Real and Hanya combine, it led to this opportunity from Anthony Fontana. He buries it, elite finish, clinical finish, and that cuts the lead 2-1.
These full match highlights are presented by Omega Accounting. And then we would get a red card, which would result in some flurry of moments for Colorado Springs, but it wouldn't be enough. And then Mohamed War would put this one to bed.
My goodness, that is what you call a nightcap. That's all. We'll see ya. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy your flight home, Mohamed War, with a killer finish. As we now look at the final stats from tonight, presented by Hogue. Didn't need a ton of possession. Ended up getting 5 shots on target at the end of things, but Orange County, even when you look at these numbers, this wasn't the kind of game that these past few have looked like in both a positive and a negative sense, because they come out with the 3 points, but at the same time, the mayhem that they generated in that last game and the amount of opportunities they created in the game prior didn't result in 3 points, and yet here they are, able to find the 3 they've been seeking, and they'll be able to take that one and roll with it, moving on to their next game on the road against Monterey Bay in the Jägermeister Cup. It'll also be Jägermeister Cup against El Paso Locomotive on the road for Colorado Springs as well next weekend. But this is where our broadcast ends here. For our entire broadcasting crew, Marion Crowder, I'm Mark Schoenster. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. 3-1 your final score, Orange County victorious. See you next time. We still got some great games on the docket tonight on ESPN Plus across the USL Championship, so be sure to check those out. But we're out over here.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.